Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had a good week. I know mine was super busy. We had quite a few things going on, a lot with 4-H and things, so we've been keeping pretty busy. How was everybody's week? I hope everybody had a good one. Hi, Maddie Ray. Thank you. My daughter Cassidy took that picture. We did a few pictures. I've got some roosters that I've got for sale. We've got too many roosters, so we were taking pictures of them and posting them up for sale. So this is one of the Polish roosters that we have. I thought she did a pretty good job taking pictures. This guy here, he looks kind of evil, I think, but he's actually a pretty sweet rooster. So I hope somebody enjoys him, whoever decides to purchase him. So anyway. As always, I'm going to give everybody about 5 minutes to jump on here, and then I'll get started. This last week, we've had quite a bit of 4-H things going on. We're getting ready for our annual fundraiser for our 4-H club. And then we are getting ready for a meat judging contest for our kiddos. The kiddos that are in the swine, beef, lamb, goat projects, they have a meat judging contest coming up. And that is on the 25th of February. So we're excited about that. Hello, Mother of Many Horses, T. Teresa, Susan Sullivan, Mennonite Life. Hello. I don't think I've ever seen you on our stream before, but welcome in. Anyway, as I was explaining, I don't know if you guys were here, but this is a picture that Cassidy has taken. And this is one of our Polish roosters that we've put up for sale. So we were taking some pictures. I've got some more for you guys to see as well of some of the other roosters that we're trying to get rid of. We've got too many roosters as it is. And if I can't sell them, then, well, on to the crock pot they go. But anyway, I've got like 5 of them, so it wouldn't be too bad to, have to butcher 5 of them, but I don't like butchering one chicken at a time because it's a whole process, and it's just really not worth it to me to butcher one chicken. So we'll see. Hopefully these guys find good homes, especially these Polish roosters, because they really don't have a lot of meat on them. They're more of an ornamental chicken. So anyway, how was everybody's week? Mine was pretty good. Anybody have any interesting things happen to them, or are going to have anything interesting happen? This past weekend, we did have my parents. They finally got to move into their new house. It's almost been 2 years. April 20th, it would have been 2 years that their house burned down. And finally got it finished and moved in this last weekend. So it was kind of a fun thing. It's a little stressful getting everything coordinated, but we had a good time. And yeah, so anyway, Mother of Many Horses says she's busy, but just life. Yep. That's how it goes. Alright, I'm going to take this off here so you guys can see me. And I'm hoping that, okay, good, it's not too awful dark. We have an overcast day, and I really rely on a lot of, oh my goodness, my hair's going crazy. Excuse me, I rely a lot on natural light in this room. And unfortunately, behind me, I don't have a lot of natural lighting, so, yeah, I didn't, I just threw my hair up and I didn't even check it before oh well. That's alright. I always usually just do a messy bun, and I have pokey outies. Anyway, nobody around here really cares what I look like. My animals don't really say anything if they do, so. Anyway, let's see here. I'm a little disorganized because we did have moving weekend, and my topic for today, I thought I would just kind of talk a little bit about community, and also the advantages of going to conferences and things. I just went to a conference last Thursday, and I'm going to talk about that today. And got a couple other things that I wanted to touch on. I don't really have like a lecture type thing today, but hopefully next week I do. And if you guys have anything that you want me to specifically talk about that I know something about, or that I might be able to explain in detail, please let me know. And then if you have any questions, please put them in all caps so that I can see them. And if I miss your question, please keep reposting it until I acknowledge it. That way your question gets answered. This show is part of the Homestead Network, so please, if you are in the chat room, keep it family friendly. We do have children that watch this and read it, so please keep that in mind. And so, hang on one second. I didn't keep that on here. I always forget to. This evening there are 2 shows on. Oh, here we go. There are 2 shows on, and that will be Freedom Acres from 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and from 9 to 10 o'clock we have Big Bear Homestead. Robin will be giving her essential oils class, and they are on from 9 to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So please, if you have a chance, please check their channels out. The worms, Maddie Ray, are doing really nicely. Getting it set up, it's been a little bit I don't know, of an adventure, I guess. They're all doing really good. It's kind of give and take. I'm trying to learn not to put too much stuff in, not to overfeed them, because then I read that it'll start smelling. We haven't had any bad smells yet. I did put some onions in there, and they do have a little bit of a smell to them, but I don't know. I may have been doing something wrong. I don't know. I've been playing with different things, and it's working out really well. I'm really excited. And we're almost to the point where we're going to be using our second tray, so that's kind of exciting. And I'm rather excited to start using some worm castings here soon. Hopefully I can have quite a few of those, and worm teas. So hopefully this summer I'll have quite a bit of that to use. Good morning, Jay Wallace. Okay. Good noontime, all Bandana Grandma. Hello, Bandana Grandma. Welcome in. So I take it you're probably in the Eastern Standard Time, Bandana Grandma, because it's 11 o'clock here. All right. And I just realized how unorganized I am. I don't have my list that I normally have here in front of me so that I can kind of go off of, but I can refer back to some of my other ones that I have here. Okay, so I had a few people asking me about the little calf that had the hard start to life. Some people were asking what actually happened to his foot to cause us to have to put him down. I do have a picture. I did go out and take a picture of his hoof, what happened to it. If you are squeamish, I will only put it up for just a couple seconds here and let you guys see, and then I'll take it back down. But it is a little bit gross, so if you're squeamish, you might want to look away for a couple minutes, and I will warn you when you can look back if you want. So what happened with this little guy? He was born on a... Okay, so here we go, guys. You're going to see it here. What happened with this little guy is he was born on a sub-zero day, and his hooves ended up freezing. And as you can see here, right right underneath his dew claws, you can see where it started separating. I did have some other pictures that I was going to put on here, but they were, it was of the other side of the hoof, but they were really, really bad. So anyway, as you can see the band where it actually froze from that part down, and it separated. His hooves fell off of his legs. So, all right. So those of you that didn't want to look, the picture is off now. The poor little guy, he did have issues with his tendons when he was knuckling over. He corrected those within 3 days. And then I started having kind of some suspicions that his hooves had been frozen, because he wasn't acting like a normal calf. He didn't jump and buck and kick and play around. He kind of stumbled over a lot of things. But when that the band of tissue that was damaged really badly started showing up, I knew then that we were going to have problems. And then once that started showing up, it was maybe a couple days after that his hoof fell off. And we immediately put him down, because that is something that is just too excruciating for a little baby. So, and also his quality of life when he got older would not have been anything that you would want any animal to have to live with. So he would just have a little stump there. And cows are designed to have 4 legs, not 3. All right, so let's see. So I went to the Mid-Missouri Grazing Conference last week, and oh my gosh, I had such a good time. There were a lot of good topics being spoken of. I went to 3 of the seminars, and let's just say a couple of them just, my mind was blown. Some of the things that people are doing using cover crops is for their rotational grazing systems for their winter forage stockpiling. I was amazed, and I am going to go ahead and do a show on that, so I'm not going to go into detail about it today, but it was really amazing what these people are doing, and I'm thinking about implementing some of these things on my own homestead, because it made a lot of sense to me. One guy, he doesn't stack his hay. He sets it out in the field where his cows are going to be over the wintertime, and he sets it out in kind of a checkerboard pattern, and all he does is move one wire, and the cows have access to their hay, and he also has stockpiled forage that's around his hay bale. So it was really kind of neat. He extends the life of his hay by having that stockpiled forage around that hay bale. And all he has to do is go out and move one wire. Doesn't have to fire up a tractor, doesn't have to move hay again. He only moves it one time. And it cuts down, he said it cuts down on hay usage. I forget the percentage off the top of my head, but it was incredible to listen to that. And then some people, there's another guy that was using, he is a row crop farmer, and he's using a system where he plants his main crop, which happened to be corn, that he used as presentation. And then once his corn reaches a certain height, he'll go back through and no-till drill in whatever kind of cover crop he wants his cattle to graze. And so that will just kind of hang out there underneath the canopy of the corn. And he'll harvest his corn, and then once he harvests his corn, the crop that he's chosen that's underneath that corn will start to grow. And then over the wintertime, what he does is he sets up his paddocks, and he just rotationally grazes those paddocks over the wintertime with his cows, improving the soil quality and everything to his fields, which I thought was very, very cool. So anyway, I'll get into more of that on another day, but it was kind of neat to listen to. I also went to another Improving Your Pasture Grasses seminar, and a lot of the different things that people are doing with their grasses and things so that they can improve and fit more cattle on smaller spaces. And a lot of people are using and implementing the electric wire in the rotational grazing system, so it was pretty cool to see. So anyway, Hello, Rain, and I also, I was going to get to this a little bit later, but congratulations, Rain, on being my winner for my contest. I have started your item, and I accidentally left it at my parents' house, so it'll be Tuesday. Or tomorrow, I'm going back to help my mom kind of organize some stuff. So I'll pick it back up then. I did get it started this weekend while we were watching the game yesterday. I started on it. So anyway, Rain wants it to be a surprise as to what it's going to look like. So I will do that. I will keep it a surprise. But anyway, oh, okay, that's good, Rain. You can listen in. Let's see. Oh, very cool, Jay Wallace. You won a milk can that Brad gave away. Very cool. Yeah, Mother of Many Horses. It was. My mind was like, I was sitting there. I was probably like, just staring. And luckily, these people had printouts of their presentations. Otherwise, I would have been like, okay, what'd you say again? Like scribbling down everything that they were writing. So, and I probably wouldn't have been able to read my own handwriting at the end anyway. So, anyway, all right. So, yeah, the game, Jay Wallace. Okay, so I was one of those people that didn't stay to the end. So on my way home, I guess the game finished, and we took both of our vehicles because Brian took our big flatbed truck, and when he got home, he goes, "So, did you listen to the game on the way home?" And I'm like, "No." And he shows me on his phone, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" So didn't get to watch the spectacular ending that everybody said there was. So anyway, yes, Jay Johnson, more cattle on less pasture. I am going to do. I think my next live stream will be covering that topic because while the information is fresh and in my mind, I want to share with you what I learned from this conference. And also, I have another conference that I'm going to. So if you are in Missouri or near the Columbia, Missouri area, there is another conference that is going on. It is the Mid-Missouri Expo. I guess it's an expo, not a conference, but they'll have seminars that you can go to. Fence law, pond management, small animal production, food preservation. This one is geared more towards small farmers. So the other crops and soils livestock conference that I went to it was geared more towards the people that take it to the professional route, but you can implement what they were doing on your own small farm. But this one I am going to. It is at the brand new high school there in Columbia. I know Teal House Farm would be about the same driving distance for both of us to go. They don't live too far from us, so anyway, okay, sorry, I was getting distracted by the comments, but anyway, so there's that, and I look forward to this. I know a few of the speakers that are going to be there, and I respect a lot of the people that are going to be at this expo, so the ones that I know are going to be there. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. What else did I have for you guys? I forget. I guess I'll remember. Like I said, I'm not very organized. Alright, I guess I'll go ahead and start up with the pictures. Now, a lot of them this week Cassidy has taken. This is one of Ziva that she took. I thought it was just cute. She's like, "Hi guys, what are you doing?" But anyway, there's Ziva. She's just a ham, regardless. So, and then here's another picture of one of the Polish roosters. If you guys, let's see, I'll go ahead and put the first one up too. This is another one that she took. That was the opening photo, but anyway, how many people are in our household? We have 4, Bandana Grandma. We have myself, my husband, and my 2 daughters, Cassidy and Caitlin. Caitlin will be 9 years old in about 2 weeks, and then Cassidy is 11. So there are 4 of us, and then I also 2 days a week I watch my nieces and nephews. So, which is kind of weird to say nephews. I have a little nephew now, and he's just cute as a button, and I never get anything done while he's here, but, you know, I get my baby fix. I call it a baby fix whenever he's here, so I don't want any little babies. I can take care of a little baby, and I don't have to want one of my own anymore. So, here is another picture of another Polish rooster that we have. They are some funky looking chickens, that's for sure. But I think they're absolutely gorgeous myself. Anyway, sorry, I was reading comments. Anyway, there you go. Let's see here. Do I have any more here for you? No, I don't. Well, I have just random pictures. So, this week, the recipe that I have for you guys is snowflake cookies. Now this is from my Grandma Frances. She made these when I was little, and oh my goodness, they're not very big. They're like bite-sized cookies. As you can see at the bottom, it says it yields 6 to 7 dozen cookies, and these are cookies that you are going to have a cookie press for, whether it be an automatic one or the hand crank, doesn't matter. We loved decorating these when we were kids. She'd always get that canned frosting, and I think we had more frosting on the cookies than we did the actual cookie part. And it was always so much fun making these cookies, but these are really, really good. They do use cream cheese in there, so it's kind of an interesting recipe. You wouldn't think that cream cheese in a cookie would be good, but hey, it is pretty good. But and you can decorate them however you like. We always had a good time pressing the cookies. That was our job, was to press the cookies. And yeah, for kids, these are very fun cookies to make, simply because of the fact that you get to press the cookies, and you can make them bigger or smaller, however you like them. So anyway, all right. So the book of the week, I chose something that if you're going to start doing some cover crops, this is a really great book to look at. It covers all kinds of cover crops. It covers, it is a little bit of a dry read. It's a little bit boring, but it's more scientific, and it tells you kind of when you need to plant it, what you need to plant, if you need to amend your soil in any way, different cover crops that work well if you're going to be succession planting, and nitrogen fixing plants, plants that are going to, as you can see, she's holding, I think that's a kind of radish. They started using these in some of the fields around here, and what they do is they're very long, they got a long root on them, and they help aerate the soils. So they've been using these a lot around those long radishes. I believe they're radishes. There's some kind of a root crop around here to help aerate the soil so that they don't have to actually till the soil. I know a lot of farmers around here just do the no-till drilling with their soils already, but it helps aerate the soil and break it up a little bit. It really gets into detail of certain ones that you can just mow down, or you can till under, or anything like that. So this book is really great if you want to get into cover cropping and things like that. So it's got a lot of information. Like I said, it's a little bit dry, but if you can muscle through it, you can really learn a lot from this book. So let's see. Cream cheese frosting. Yeah, cream cheese frosting is good. Mother of Many Horses, you're still working on last week's book. How do you like it so far? I thought she did a really good job writing a topic that is completely and utterly boring to me. She didn't make it as painful as I thought the process was going to be. So anyway, so there is my book of the week. Did everybody, I guess I took the recipe off there a little quick. Did everybody get a chance, if you were writing it down, did y'all get a chance to write it down? If not, I can put it back up here in a little bit. Let me know if you need me to. So this week for my breed highlight, I have chosen the Plymouth Rock chicken, and they are a favorite of mine. They are a breed that my family has owned for many generations. I have a quick story for you. My great-grandmother, this was her breed of choice. This is all she had. Well, she had these, and she also had the Rhode Island Reds. But she had a rooster that was attached to her. This rooster loved her. And so she would go out to the chicken house and get him out, and he'd follow her. She liked to sit underneath the old box elder tree. She had a picnic table under there. She'd like to sit out there and just enjoy the evening or something. And she'd get the rooster out, and he'd follow her, and then he'd hop up onto the picnic table. And she goes, I forget what his name is. I wish I did, but she goes, "All right, you crow." And on demand, that chicken, or rooster, excuse me, he would crow for her. And he wouldn't stop crowing. She got him started, he wouldn't stop, but he would stand up there and he would crow for her. And he was just the neatest rooster. She had him for so long, he ended up becoming blind, and she took special care of him. He became a pet, really. But anyway, it really speaks to the docility of this breed. They're a very docile breed. They're a very friendly breed. And if you do end up having them, they're a very nice breed. This is a barred rock. They come in many, many colors. They come in 9 different colors. I'm not going to list all of them, but they come in 9 different colors. But the barred color is the most popular color here in the United States. Let's see here. They're very hardy. They're very cold hardy birds. They are a large dual-purpose bird, so they have very good table quality. If you raise your own chicks, if you get like a straight run, they are the cockerels. When you do go ahead and butcher them, they have quite a bit of meat on them, and they grow rather quickly. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Hello? Hey, I'm on my live stream. It's okay. All right, I'm good. Sorry, that was my husband. I'm going to call him back. Little intermission there, guys. He forgot that I had my live stream today. So, anyway, where was I? Anyway, they're cold hardy. Oh yeah, the cockerels, they are very tasty. Their meat is very good. They have yellow skin, so if you do butcher them, you will see yellow skin. Hello, Freaky Geek 2. Hello, Bob. Welcome in. And then, let's see here. They have yellow skin and yellow feet. They were developed in the United States, although nobody really knows where. So they are an American breed. They are very good foragers. They are very proficient at finding their own food. The roosters are very, very protective of their hens. They love their hens. They are very attentive. The barred rock rooster that you see here, this is ours. He is a very good forager, and when he finds something of interest, he will do his little cluck, 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 and get his hens' attention. He has about a harem of about 10 hens. They follow him everywhere. They are his most devoted followers. But he will find, if he finds something of interest, he'll let his hens know. They come over and they fight over whatever he's found for him. And he's very attentive to his hens. They are a single combed breed, which, as you can see, he has a single comb. Here's another picture of him while he's eating some of the grain that I put down for him in the mornings. But they usually an adult rooster will average about 9 pounds once they're fully grown. So they're a pretty good sized breed. They're very active birds. Now, so the hens, they are excellent mothers. As you can see, this hen, she hatched out last year. I think she had about 6 little peeps that she took care of, raised every single one of them. She was a very good mother. She was one of those hens that if you got too close, she was letting you know you were not welcome near her babies. Very protective. They are very good egg layers. They lay a large brown egg. They are, like I said, excellent mothers. And they do go broody so easily. They are a very broody hen. But I usually will, if a hen wants to go broody, I will usually let her, depending on how many chicks I want. But I would rather a hen raise the chicks than me. I like it when a hen raises her own chicks, takes all the work out of it for me. I have nothing to do with raising these chicks. She does everything for me, and I get the end result, which is I get to butcher some little cockerels when they get big enough, and I have some replacement pullets at the end of the year. So I really like the fact that hens raise their own chicks, and I let them do it in an all-natural way. Yes, I do provide the feed mix for them. I feed them twice a day with their chicks. The hens usually know where I feed, and they will bring their chicks up there and feed them with that. But they do forage. I think the chicks are stronger whenever they're allowed to forage as chicks. They take them out in the pasture. They go through the cow pies. They scratch up all the cow pies for me, and they get all the fly larvae that are in there, which also helps keep down the fly populations for my cattle. So anyway, I got a little off topic there, but they are very calm hens. I have a couple of them that, come greet me every morning. I still have to fix the holes in my chicken, in my area, my goat/chicken yard. I am going to be planting some things in my garden here soon, and chickens, these guys being active foragers that they are, they like to undo everything that I do. So, anyway. What's best, having all hens that go broody or just a few? Freaky Geek 2. Now, if all of your hens go broody, you won't be getting any eggs. Hens that go broody do not lay eggs. So I usually, depending on what I have time for, if I have a few hens that go broody at the same time, I'll go ahead and let them go broody. And then if I have more later on that want to go broody, I will break them up. I do not, and I don't want any babies at that time. I will go ahead and put them, I just have a cage that I set in the chicken house, and I set her in there with food and water and leave her in there for about a week. Usually that will break up the broodiness, and then she'll go on and continue to lay for me. So a broody hen will not lay eggs, so just keep that in mind. Hello, Dutch. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so the hens usually will average about 7 pounds full grown. So the barred rock hen is a staple on most traditional homesteads. My great-grandmother raised them, like I said. She had one as a pet. This is the breed that she liked the most. And so there you go. That is the Barred Rock. They do come in many colors, like I said, but the Barred Rock is most popular. The Barred coloring is the most popular for that breed. So, Icky Can Off-Grid, any hints on how to get a hen to go broody? If you're wanting hens to go broody, you need to set them up a fake clutch of eggs. I don't ever have a problem with that because I have a lot of Barred Rocks, and I have a lot of Buff Orpingtons, and I also have a few of my Rhode Island Reds. All are broody hen. All of them will go broody really easily. But if you want to try and encourage a hen to go broody, set them up a fake clutch of eggs. Get some plastic eggs and set them in a nest, particularly a nest that you want a hen to set on. So if you set them up a clutch to set on, sometimes a hen it'll click in her brain and go, oh, I need to set on that. I need to incubate those eggs. And then once that hen has decided to go broody, you can switch out the fake eggs with the real eggs that you want her to hatch. So yes, bandana grandma. So when a hen decides she wants to go broody, I have had chickens that hide their nests on me, and that is, you walk out one morning and you're like, oh, well, there's a new clutch of babies. What they'll do is they will lay them a clutch of eggs, which is usually about 12, depending on the breed, or just whenever that chicken decides she's got enough to sit on. They will lay their little clutch, and then they will set the eggs and hatch them. So they do, while they are broody, they don't lay, because when they're sitting on eggs, there's no point in them laying extra eggs. Their focus is attention. Their main attention span is on taking care of those eggs, hatching those eggs, and giving them the best success rate possible so that they can hatch out. So no, once a hen goes broody, they will not lay. But once you break them up, their cycle will start back up again, usually within about a week or so. Let's see. Oh, all this talk of chickens is making me really miss having them. You know, I had some rogue chickens here lately that have decided that it's okay to roost in trees. Not okay. We have an owl situation right now. There's an owl that has been predatorizing some of my critters. So I had to reinforce where their roosting pattern. So I had to lock them in the house, the chicken coop that we have them in. I locked them in there for about a week so that they would reestablish that as their roost, and they have. They've done nicely with that. But I lost my train of thought. I had a point to that. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, my point to that was I go outside and I don't have any chickens running around on my yard. I missed it, even though I know that they were locked up. I really missed seeing my chickens. It was one of those things where it's like, is a week over yet? So, and when we first moved here, we didn't have any chickens, and it was one of the things where I needed chickens. So, let's see here. I thought I saw another question here. What breed is most temp hardy? T. Teresa. There are several breeds that are very cold hardy. Buff Orpingtons, or Orpington chickens, not just the buff. They come in several colors too. Orpingtons, Barred Rocks, the Salmon Favorels that I have, they have proven to be pretty cold hardy this year. We've had some cold nights, and everybody's doing really good. Let's see here. Any of your kind of multi-purpose chickens usually do pretty good with the cold. So let's see. T. Teresa, you want to know about heat tolerant chickens? You know, most of them do pretty good in the heat as well. When you see a chicken when they're too hot, they're gonna hold out their wings. She'll hold out her wings. They'll find a nice shady spot somewhere. They will sometimes dig in the dirt so that they can get pretty cool. But under their wings there's a main artery that goes under there. It's kind of like a rabbit's ears. There's a lot of blood vessels and things in there. And what they do is they'll try to get as much air circulation around that point as possible because that cools their blood quicker, and they're able to cool their core body temperature that way. So I'm not necessarily... most chickens can handle most heat situations. Now you want to make sure that they have plenty of shade space, somewhere they can get out of the blazing hot sun, where there's plenty of airflow, and things like that. So plenty of places where they can just get and dig their dusting holes or dig their cooling holes. Kind of like a dog, they love to dig. But anyway, so most chickens can handle heat. For the most part, some breeds don't do well in the cold, mainly because they freeze their combs, or they were bred to. It's kind of like when you have a Brahma cow and she doesn't want to stay up in Alaska. It depends on the situation you get them from. Some strains will be more cold hardy than other strains in the same breed, so you just kind of got to pay attention to where you get them from too. So, you know, the Duckhead Homestead, they seem to be doing pretty good. They were one of the ones that went rogue on me. The roosters especially, they started to roost in the trees, and I couldn't get them suckers caught to save my life. And they survived probably a 3-degree night with no problem. I don't know. I've heard that they can be a little bit temperamental when it comes to cold tolerance, but they seem to be doing fine. None of them have keeled over yet. Okay, so visit Alaska to find wild birds and bring them home. Well, you could do that, Freaky Geek. That'd be some expensive chickens, that's for sure. Anyway, a trip to Alaska just to get birds. Anyway, okay, so, any other questions about that before I move on? I just wanted to talk a little bit about community today, mainly because we helped our parents this weekend move into their new house, and really, to me, having a community around you that is willing to help you, willing to do anything for you, is very key in having success on your homestead. So, good to know horses don't eat birds, Mother. I think that was a previous conversation. Thank you, Jay Johnson. Come back next week. I will be talking about the conference that I went to and grazing systems, some of the grazing systems that I learned about. So if you want to hear about that, that will be next week. So, all right. So, community on your homestead is very important because nobody can do it 100% by themselves. Now, a community can be many, many different things. It can be just your family, it can be your neighbors, it can be your friends, other family members. Um, it can be, they don't necessarily have to live next to you, but it does help if they are closer. I know I've got neighbors all around me that if I call them, I could call them at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they would answer their phone and say, what do you need? And if I say, hey, I need you to come down here, I need help with pulling a calf. Got a calf in trouble. They'd be there as quick as they got their boots on. So having people like that around you is very beneficial because you cannot do it by yourself. You cannot. Icky can off-grid. Do you need to remove a broody hen away from the rest of the flock? If you want her to stop being broody, yes. Because she will, whatever nest, the hen usually will get off of her nest one time a day to go to the bathroom, eat and drink. She will just hop from nest to nest to nest because she'll see eggs and be like, oh, there's my eggs. I'm gonna incubate these. Well, if she's incubated this nest for so long, those little guys are gonna die, and you certainly don't want to eat those eggs. So, if she's setting, you want to make sure that she is separated. So that she doesn't try and set the eggs that you are going to consume. And B, some hens get very aggressive about where they lay their eggs and they'll boot her off the nest. If she's chosen a place and decides she wants to lay her eggs and she is more dominant than that hen, they will kick them off the nest, and then that dominant hen will lay her egg, and then the other hen is allowed to come be broody back on her nest, and you'll have eggs that are hatching at multiple different rates, and you don't want that either. And then if you want to break up a broody hen, like I said, just have a separate cage where she doesn't have access to any eggs to set on, and usually about a week is how many days that I keep them in there. So, will one broody hen cause other hens to go broody? No, they won't. Now, if you have several, sorry guys, if you have, when you go to collect your eggs, if there are a lot of eggs in one nest, and a hen sees that may cause her to go broody. She's thinking, oh, there's a clutch of eggs. I need to set on that clutch of eggs. That could cause her to go broody. Or usually a hen won't go broody unless she knows there's enough eggs there to set a clutch. So, and then of course there's always exceptions to the rule. Some hens just, they see an egg, I want to set on that egg and hatch it. So, they don't necessarily see one hen go broody and then want to go broody themselves. Bye, Duckhead Homestead. Thanks for coming in. Ma and Pa Park. Just got done grinding 175 pounds of sausage. Go you. Wow. You've been busy this morning. I've got all my animals fed and watered. That's about all I've accomplished today. So, okay. Anyway, back to community on the homestead. Let's see here. So why would you want to build a community around yourself? First of all, you're not going to have every tool that you're ever going to need, or every piece of knowledge that you're ever going to need. Borrowing is very big in a homesteading community. We borrow things from our neighbors come and borrow things from us. We barter for different things. Say my chickens aren't laying very good. Well, my other neighbor, say he needs help doing something. I go help him do something, and he gives me a dozen eggs. It works out really nicely. Or maybe your neighbor has bees, and they need eggs and you need honey. A bartering system works really good with neighbors. Advice. Now that one you kind of want to be careful. Some people know a lot about everything, and sometimes their advice is not always the best. So you kind of take what they have and mold it into something that's going to work for what you believe in and what your system is. Don't always think that you have to stick to one person's advice 100% of the time. But maybe they have an idea that you've never even thought of, and you're like, oh, wow, that might really work in my situation, and implement it on your homestead. So just kind of be people that tell you they're an expert at something. I probably wouldn't. I would listen attentively, but really, really kind of question their motives, I guess. I don't know. That kind of sets me off a little bit. It's kind of off-putting for me when people tell me that this is how it has to be done. I'm an expert in this. Things like that. I usually will take it with a grain of salt and be nice and listen to what they have to say, but usually I'm not too keen on people that are trying to force me to understand a certain way that they believe. Now, if I ask for advice, I'm going to listen to that person because I usually if I see somebody that merits wanting their advice, I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to want to know what they have to say, and then take what they have to say and use it in a way that's gonna benefit me and work for work for the situation that I have. Because no homestead is the same. Every homestead is different. Everybody has a certain way that they like to do things. Certain things are done. There's about 100 different ways to do one thing. You can feed a pig 25 different ways, but in the end, the end result's going to be the same. You're going to have a pig that's ready to butcher in the end. Everybody can do it a different way, but you're going to have the same result in the end. You may have different variations of results, but you're going to have a pig that's ready to butcher. So, more likes than watchers. Oh, that's cool. Bye, Susan. I hope you're still here. Okay, so, and then you're also going to want companionship. Your animals don't talk back, so having some human interaction always helps, especially if you're one of the sole caretakers. I am the main caretaker here on my homestead. My husband has a day job that he goes to. I stay here and I take care of the homestead. So having other people around to talk to helps. Now, there are certain people that you do want to have around you in your community. You want people that are going to be trustworthy, honest, and dependable. You know, those are the three things that I look for whenever I am wanting to add somebody to my roster of I trust you with my animals. There are very few people in this world that I trust my animals to. And those are three of the criteria that I have for people that I want in my homestead community. Yes, animals do talk back. You just don't understand yet. That's correct. You know. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, they do talk back to you. Oh, not a problem, Bandana Grandma. I'll trust you with the wrench. I've seen you have wrenches in other people's um, chats, so I assume that if they trust you, I should trust you too. My cat talks back to me all the time. Honey, my horse just rolls her eyes. Yeah. We have a pony and he nickers at me all the time. I guess that's talking, I don't know. Mainly he just wants food. So I know what his motives are. Okay, so those are the kinds of people that I'm looking for whenever I want or whenever I want to have somebody that I'm going to be able to trust if I have to go somewhere to take care of my animals and I know that they're going to um, be able to do it the way that I need it to be done. Because you do want to have a little bit of time. See if you have a trip you want to take that's shorter. We don't usually take vacations. If we do, they're day trips or a couple of days at a time. The last time we went somewhere else for more than a week, it was a day's drive home. So if we had to, we could drive home there. So we usually stick around pretty close. We're not into the whole vacationing thing. There are a couple of trips that I do want to take with the kids while they're younger. One is I want to go to Mount Vernon and see that with the girls. A couple of other different things like that. But anyway, so you want to be able to have somebody that you can trust to keep the level of your homestead performance up while you're gone. So, and you also want to be that person for other people. So, if what you expect out of somebody, you should be able to be willing to give in return. So, I know this is not what the subject is about, but we have found we need to find a new forever home. So, Ma and Pa Park, you're talking about moving, right? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, where'd my chat go? Oh, it's back again. I lost my chat there for a second. Hello, Homestead Tessie. I hope I pronounced that right. Thanks for stopping in. I sure will, Ma and Pa Park. I know a lot of small towns are having issues with that. So, oh, Homestead Tessie, Tractor Supply. I walk in and everybody knows me there. It's kind of like the cheer song. Everybody knows your name and they're always glad you came. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Let's see here. One thing, you can't choose your neighbors, but you can choose which neighbors to associate with. I have one set of neighbors. They just give me the creeps. Not gonna lie. They're nice enough, but the first time I ever met the husband, I got goosebumps on the back of my neck, and just it was a little uncomfortable situation for me. I didn't particularly want him near me. That was my first instinct, and usually I try to listen to what my instincts are telling me. Now they're not like the neighbors from where. They're not like that. They keep to themselves for the most part, but they kind of give me the creeps a little bit. So I don't associate with them if I don't have to. You can be cordial and not like your neighbors. You can be cordial. you always want to make sure that you maintain a good relationship with your neighbors, because you do have to live next to them. You don't have to like them, but you do have to live next to them. And that's always kind of difficult, especially if you have neighbors. We don't have this situation, but I know of a few people that do. Their neighbors are absolutely ridiculous, in that they're from the city and they moved to the country, and apparently a mooing cow is annoying. So, I don't know. I'm glad I don't have neighbors like that. But, buffering bad now. I have to go to work. Oh, I'm sorry it's buffering, guys. Okay. Let's see here. And the easiest way to build the community, like I said, is to be the person that you want to be in your, that you want to have in your own community. So be the person that you want. Make sure that you are that way to your neighbors. And way back when, communities survived on each other. You know, my great-grandpa and my grandpa, they will talk about, you know, if they didn't have their neighbors, they wouldn't have survived. Because a lot of times, everybody had a garden, and sometimes your crops would fail. Well, sometimes your other neighbors would have a bumper crop of something or a bumper crop of another. They would share with neighbors that didn't have that bumper crop. Everybody shared everything. They bartered everything. The wheat fields near my grandpa when he was younger, they would plant a community wheat field. They chose somebody's farm, somebody that probably had the tools to do that. In exchange for all of their help, him getting this wheat crop, they would get enough to make their flour for the winter. He would get, obviously, the majority of the wheat, but they would get a share of that wheat so that they would have their own flour. And it's kind of sad nowadays that community has gone to the wayside, especially, you know, in towns. I have a few people that do a little bit of homesteady stuff in towns, and Columbia is our nearest larger city. And they say their neighbors are just, they don't want to talk to them. They're always trying to meet their neighbors, and you know, they just don't really have the drive to want to be neighborly. Anyway, let's see here. I guess I'm a little out on that conversation. I'm getting raised eyebrows, not using electric. Oh, you're not a weirdo, Homestead Tessie. But anyway, it really kind of saddens me, because I grew up, we had a great community, a great support system of our family and our friends. I've talked a little bit about our family, our main crop when I was younger, up until I was about 16 and the government bought us out. Our main crop, cash crop, was tobacco. And we relied on friends and family to help us get that crop in. It's a very labor intensive crop to get in. Every single stalk has to be touched and handled. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Every single stalk of tobacco has to be handled 4 times. You set the tobacco, which means you plant it. You cut the tobacco, which means you take your axe, whack it, and shove it on a stick. You hang the tobacco in the barn to cure, and then it's called stripping tobacco, which means you take the leaves off of the stalk. So every stalk is handled 4 times, minimum. So it's very labor intensive. And we really relied on friends and family to help us get that crop in every year because you have a very small window of time. So having a good community will really help you out and really help your homestead thrive. So, any questions? Thank you, Bandana Grandma. Yep, it is 5 after. I am a little past my time. But next week, please join in, guys. I'm going to be talking about the experience that I had with the conference that I went to and some of the systems that people have. So, how much space to grow tobacco? All right, it depends on how much you want to grow, first of all, and what you want to grow it for. If you're doing it commercially, you have to get an allotment from the government. I believe my grandpa's allotment was an acre. It's very heavily regulated. They bought out a lot of farmers. And when I was about 16 or so, the government bought us out, and we no longer raised it. So if you're running to raise it for personal use, you can buy seeds. It really depends on how much you want to grow, really, honestly. It's kind of up to you. The plant itself, and depending on there's so many different varieties to plant. It's going to need a good 4-foot section just for one plant. If you want it to grow properly. And it's a very heavy feeder. It relies a lot on very rich soils. And tomato hornworms will pick your tobacco plant clean in about an hour. One tomato hornworm can eat a tobacco leaf. Gone. It can, if you get about 5 tobacco, or we call them tobacco worms, but they're tomato hornworms. If you get about 5 of those on one plant, your plant is gone by the next day. It is not a dumb question, Teresa Homestead. There's no dumb questions. Tobacco, no, not that I know of. If there is, I don't know of any. I know a lot of people grow it for pest control. Some of them use it as a pest control method. Yeah, Donna already answered that. Yeah, you can use it as pest control. Keeps the bugs away. You can use it as a trap crop too, because aphids love tobacco. You will find aphids on tobacco every time. Using it as a trap crop would probably be a good idea. Helps with low blood pressure. Oh, very cool, Donna. See, I didn't know that. I don't know any. All I know is we raised it, so I don't know of any medicinal properties that it might have. My daughter's. Oh, okay. You're talking about that. Self-medicate. Yes, you can. Homestead Tessie, you can. Keep in mind, though, that it is a heavy feeder. It will steal nutrients from your other crops, too. So, anyway, and her question was, can you plant it near other crops? My grandpa, okay, so he had, they were called setter rows. And basically it was just a skipped row of tobacco. So that way, whenever he went to spray it, it was just as wide as what his sprayer would allow him to be. So he would plant tomatoes down that spray row. And he planted his tomatoes in amongst all of his tobacco. So you can. Oh, no, that's okay, Donna. I usually try to answer questions for a little while. I open it up for any questions. Anything you want to talk about, it's cool. I usually, I'm going to go and start cooking I've got some cabbage I'm going to cook up for lunch today, so I'm rather excited about that. I haven't had cabbage in a while, so. Yeah, you can compost it back in to return the nutrients to the soil. Yep. My grandpa has an old buddy that raises it. He raises his own and smokes it. So, and he doesn't have to worry about all of the chemicals and mouse goodies in it. Because if you see, okay, if a lot more people seen how tobacco was A, raised, and B, stored, there would be a lot fewer smokers in this country. You get a lot more than just tobacco in a cigarette. You get quite a few extras. And not just bugs either. You get mice and everything. You get all kinds of little critters. So, not to mention all the chemicals. Orthane is the main one that we used to keep bugs off the crop. Orthane was a big one. Alright, guys. So, yes, Freaky Geek 2, there are a lot of toxins. It takes a lot of pesticides to grow a commercial tobacco crop because of the pests that plague them. And not only do you have the toxins, like I said, you have the little extra bits. Alright, guys, I'm going to get off here. I don't see any other questions, so that took an interesting turn towards the end, but that's okay. Alright, you guys have a good week, and I will see you next week. And don't forget to stop by Freedom Acres this evening. She has a show from 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And also, Big Bear Homestead with Robin. She has a class from 9 to 10 o'clock. So please stop by those, and I will see you guys next week.